This week we head over to the Lisheenkyle National School to find out about an innovative fitness programme that they've got going on.
Lisheenkyle National School has been what I would describe as a trailblazing school over the last couple of decades, in that they've embraced new ideas, innovation and education in terms of the use of technology in education, for example, and once again they're doing it with sport and with fitness. We see a huge challenge for our young people in the future. It's been identified across the health service, across the Department of Children, in terms of their fitness levels, in terms of obesity. Ireland certainly is storing up a problem for the future, and we need to begin to address that problem right now at the very, very early stages of children's lives. So what Shane Fitzgibbon is doing here is coming in on a voluntary basis, on a pilot basis, working with young people, instilling in them the importance of getting exercise on a daily basis. And these are habits, and they're forming very, very positive habits at a very early stage in their life that will stick with them for life. In the vast majority of schools, young people who engage in physical activity are more often than not involved in sport, be it hurling or camogie or football or soccer. But there's a cohort of children on the fringes who are perhaps not that talented, like myself, when it comes to sport, and they need to be equally nurtured in getting involved in physical activity. So the habits that they are forming here today will stay with them for a lifetime if they are embedded very, very early on in their lives.
During my work as a youth athletic development coach with teams and also one-to-one athletes over the last few years, I've noticed an alarming deterioration in physical literacy and the fundamental movement skills of children. And what I've discovered is that even working with teenagers, it's much more difficult to teach them how to move well if they haven't learned this at the primary school level. And there isn't a PE program per se in place in primary schools, and rather than just trying to tell people about the problem, I decided to take action and offer my services to a primary school in Galway, who I knew were already very interested in the activity of their children. So I approached Lisheenkyle, and the principal and Kiri jumped at the opportunity. So from September to December I was working with 6th class once a week. It's a pretty big class, so I divided them into 2 groups, and we just worked from the ground up how to move, run, change direction, skip, how to brace their body, throw, catch, all the basics, all the rudimentary skills children need to learn. The difference is that having got the experience and the education in it, when there was issues with them knowing how to do it, I was able to coach it and help them improve. And I'm delighted to say that there was tremendous benefits and improvements shown over that 3 months, and there was great support from the teachers of the class and the principal here. So, you know, it was a great team effort. My hope is that this activity will inspire other coaches to come along and work with me, and you know, hopefully they'll know how to get in touch with me by the time this airs, and let's see if we can pull together and get other coaches involved with the primary schools in their area. I am hoping to put together a pilot program with some other coaches to monitor the benefits of this, you know, through the county, and it could even potentially be rolled out nationally. So it's still in the very early stages yet, but fingers crossed. You know, look, we're losing the battle with obesity and movement skills in Ireland. 1 in 4 children, so the statistics say, are overweight or obese. We know already from the Osteoporosis Association of Ireland that the best time for girls to do weight-bearing exercises is between the age of 10 to 13. So we're talking primary school. We need to get the younger children into a structured program, one that can be followed through from 1st class through to 6th class, ideally with the same coach who's rolling through, knows what they've done and can carry it forward. By the time they go to secondary school, these children will have good movement habits ingrained that they can take forward for life.
We embarked on this programme back in September with Shane, and I have 33 6th class children in my class. Shane was able to take them in a group of 16 and 17 children, which was, there was an awful lot more positive gain for the classroom with that kind of level, because at least they weren't 1 of 33. What we found was Shane was going through the technicalities of fundamental movements, so there was a lot of improvements for children who were involved with sport and for children who weren't involved with sport, because the big thing that even Shane has mentioned himself, that a lot of children are going to a lot of training sessions every week, whether it be football or hurling or rugby, and sometimes the fundamental movements, those skills can be lost. So with even getting them to think about how they sit in the classroom, with their posture, and also from that then once they came back into the classroom after lunchtime, they were well able to sit down properly and concentrate an awful lot better. The children themselves talked about how they were well able to, they got much better sleep at night afterwards. There was an awful lot of gains in that sense as well. So with the whole idea, as our principal, Mrs. Curie, has talked about, that this just is one section of the PE curriculum. It is physical education. We need to educate them as regards their physical movements, the fundamental skills, and we hope that they can take forward these skills into life with them as regards the movements of squats or lunges, or being aware of stretching, because stretching is so important. So there have been so many different improvements and so many positive gains that they have gotten from this process. They were so excited to take part in it, and as you can see behind us now, the 4th class are embarking on it for the next 10 to 12 weeks. So it has been definitely something that we have been so excited to be involved with here in Lisheenkyle.
This is an unusual project. Shane Fitzgibbon approached us initially last Easter, roughly, with the proposal that he would come to the school, free gratis, and that he would do a fitness programme with some of our children. So we discussed it, the ins and outs of it. The first thing we had to do, of course, was get guard the clearance, which was done. We put together a programme and we decided we would take it on. It's a fantastic programme because in physical education in the primary schools, there is a particular area of it called gymnastics and fitness, which we as teachers, while we're trained teachers, all different disciplines of training here, we're not trained PE instructors, and there's always a fear that if you take on some of the gymnastics side of the curriculum, you may do damage to a child. So we were very delighted to get somebody who would be prepared to do it for us. It's all part of our active schools. We're in the process of getting an active schools flag. So it means that every child, even those who are not into competitive sport, and we'd have quite a few who wouldn't be into hurling or football or camogie or basketball or the various disciplines we use, that are into the competitive side of it, but very much into the fitness side of it. So it ties in with that, and it also ties in very much with the school initiative to try and make children more aware of obesity and the whole health regime. You saw on the corridor where one of the teachers has measured the amount of sugar in the bars of chocolate and the yogurts and different things that children would normally have in lunch boxes, and they are absolutely shocked to discover the amount of sugar in it. So all that ties in with Shane's programme. I don't know anybody else with his qualifications who would have the time, the initiative and the interest to come to a school free gratis and do this programme with them.
And what a great initiative from Shane and all the team here at Lisheenkyle National School. That's it for part 1. Join us in part 2 for more great Galway stories on Galway County Matters.